And what's so crazy to me is that if you ask most cardiologists, they will tell you that red meat is killing us. Why do so many cardiologists think red meat is killing us, Nadir?
It's like this, Paul. If you start out on the wrong ladder right from the beginning, and then you keep climbing that ladder over and over and go higher and higher, you think you're making progress, but you started out on the wrong ladder. And the wrong ladder for them was to link fat and cholesterol as culprits in vascular disease. They could not have been more wrong. So when you start with the premise that fat and cholesterol are culprits in human vascular disease, and you don't change that paradigm, and you keep looking to justify your original hypothesis, you're going to keep going further and further in the wrong path. It seems like they are making progress, but they are not. And you can identify that they are not making progress. The way you can do that is that in the last 50 years, have Americans lived healthier? No. Are they more obese? No. Are there more diabetics? Yes. Is heart disease more prevalent now than before? Yes. Every aspect of human health has gone down, even to the point that we as Americans, the next generation of Americans, are going to live a shorter lifespan than us. It has never happened in the history of this country. Every generation subsequent has lived longer than the previous generation. And this is a direct result of mainstream medicine, of USDA, of all the major organizations failing to look into human nutrition and guiding us on the wrong path, telling us to eat plant-based nutrition that our biology is not suitable for. Just like you have mentioned, it's not suitable for. Red meat is an important source of so many good aspects for us. It's important for iron, it's important for the quality of protein because it's a complete protein. It has fat in it, which our body needs. Fat is needed to feed our brain. Our brain is an expensive tissue that needs to be fed. Like you said, if we had not eaten animal food, our brain would not be 1,500 grams. Our closest ape ancestor has a brain that is about roughly in the mid 200 grams. We only got a 1,500 gram brain because we ate high quality nutrition. That's our basic evolution. And you're trying to deny that. If we were capable of eating plants, we would have had a huge colon. Or we would have been like ruminants because we would have processed the fiber that is present in grass into fat like the ruminants do because they can eat grass, which is fiber. And the ruminants process that fiber in their foregut through the bacteria. The bacteria convert the fiber to fat, and that's how they get fat eating grass. The post-processing, in other words, after acid digestion in the colon, where there is processing of fiber that happens in certain groups of animals, like horses, we are not there because our colon size is much smaller. So our colon is not capable of processing all the plant food that we have been asked to eat. We need calories. We need minerals. We need vitamins. We need essential fatty acids. We need specific amino acids like taurine. We need vitamin B12. Do you have a guess, Paul, where all of this nutrition is? Is it in plants or, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm asking you that question because I want you to state the obvious.
It's in animals. We know it is. None of those things occur in plants at all. It's crazy. And I don't know, I think that we need to get some plant-based cardiologists into the conversation and ask them these questions as well. The problem is that plant-based cardiologists won't talk to us because they don't want to have the debates. So we'll see. But I think it's very obvious when you think about these things that humans are meant to eat these foods.